Welcome to my stream. Today we're going to be doing some Hearthstone's battlegrounds and a draft.
Yo.
Oh,
Hey Nico, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I didn't even realize I was still in this Discord chat because everyone else left.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
How are you
sure.
doing?
I don't know. I
Well,
guess as you would say, I'm living. I'm here, right? Got how I feel today.
I was going to play some Hearthstone.
Yeah, I can watch a little bit. I
No, no, so that's what I was going to do.
do a little bit of work.
Um, because me and Jack were just finished playing Warzone,
Oh, nice. Okay, nice, nice.
and I, out of all the content I put out on YouTube, this is the one I have consistent amount of like people interested in.
Which one? Warzone?
No, Hearthstone.
Oh, Hearthstone, Hearthstone. Yeah. Okay.
Like I put out drafts of me playing like Magic of
Yeah.
like Brothers War, and that's like it's it's like not that like I don't get many views of that. But for
Yeah.
Hearthstone drafts, I don't know. Like when I try other card games, I have better views than Magic for some reason. Like it just feels like Magic is dead as like a content medium.
Well, what do you show when you play Magic? You show
I tend to play drafts
on
because,
Arena.
yeah, on Arena because playing standard is very toxic, and the only other thing on there is like, um, I forget what it's called. Like their version of modern with their power creep cards. Like you can play the power 9 on Arena.
I mean, I would think that for Magic, you have people who would like want to watch you draft if you had a reputation of being good.
I mean, I do. I get like 5-3 records.
Yeah.
Cause like you get like I get some pretty unlucky times. And when I'm grinding on standard, if I'm on like a win streak, you're just straight on the you're not playing first. You're just guaranteed second turn every time. Um, I went on like a 10 win streak, and then after that, I was just getting second every single time.
Okay.
It's kind of brutal sometimes. Um, you're familiar with World of Warcraft, right?
Not too much, honestly, but
Okay, so
I mean, I know about it.
basically the latest expansion lets you play as Death Knights in the card
Uh,
game.
okay, well, I know Warcraft 3, so yeah, I
Yeah.
know what it is for sure. Or I know that hero.
So
Okay.
in arenas, Death Knights are busted because and they've had to like tool it downward because it was so unfair.
Darkness falls over
Uh,
these lands.
what would happen is like um, you have cards that let you generate new cards, but because of how card generation works, it would always get you like some really busted cards because Death Knight does just came out, so there's not that big of a selection of cards.
Hmm.
So that's how you'd get these like really unfair like decks. So they had to like like tool it downward so you couldn't get many cards that said discover. Um, do I want to go into straight blood? Straight blood gives me not that many options. but again, makes me have big creatures with big attack. Uh, I guess the Dark Iron Dwarf is pretty decent. This is just straight better.
You are streaming right now?
Yeah. Um, there's
It's kind of weird. I don't know what happened, but farts. The farts channel, like I literally can't see your name. I just see your symbol and my symbol next to each other.
really
Mm-hmm.
like when you click on it, it doesn't even show up like the text channels or the voice
Like
channels.
here, let me show you literally my screen. Let me
Okay.
show you what it's like right here. And like before I enter the room, it's like I just see that symbol. So it's like I almost have to guess like who's actually in the room.
That's that is different. That's like
But then when I go on Ben's, it's what I would consider normal.
yeah,
Right. Okay, like that makes kind of sense. But then, yeah, but then I come here and I'm like,
it's borked.
But
Like
that doesn't happen on other servers. I want to say. I mean, I want to say that, but I really only on like okay. So if I go on Boomer Zoomer, yeah, see, like I see this.
I'm not experiencing what you're seeing at all. Like you're also missing like several voice channels too
On where?
in farts. Oh, oh yeah, but no, never mind.
Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, I guess they just added that. Okay, never mind.
There we go. Problem solved.
Yeah, it's always you're always a click or two away from where you need to be.
But yeah, like you know how in Magic, white healing cards are kind of bad. In Hearthstone,
Wait, what?
you know how in like when you're playing Magic, right? And cards that just literally say heal 5 life are pretty bad.
Yeah, they're not great. Yeah.
Uh, there, I, I will say Vampiric Blood in Hearthstone, which literally says pay 2 mana, permanently gain 5 life to your total, and then you can gain up to 10 life total if you follow the other condition.
Is that good?
It's surprisingly good,
Hmm.
but the reason why I'm not picking it is just because see how there's these little stupid ticks up there. If there are there are other
You're not sharing your screen.
huh
You're not sharing your screen.
oh give me a second. Oh, so you have blood, right? You have blood, unholy, and frost magic. If you go down one path, it locks you out of all the other cards from the other trees.
Okay.
So like the having a 3 cost or a 3 ping thing in the draft is kind of interesting because you're like, if you do that, you literally remove 2/3 of the card pool for for Death Knights. That's what makes drafting Death Knights kind of like awkward. Is because like it kind of like clears out like card selection. So like unlike when you're drafting Magic and people just take one card at a time, like this certain decisions you make kind of like cut off certain options that they can give you, which is why I kind of enjoy playing like Arena, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like Hearthstone is like watered down Magic because you always get a free mana every turn, and unlike how you don't have a side deck, you generate cards out of nothing. Frost is bad for me. This is okay. Um, but yeah, I've been playing. I've been enjoying playing Hearthstone a little bit more than Magic, just because like, especially in the draft versions, because there isn't like cards that just kind of like are derpy and unplayable. Well, there's less of them. Um,
Is more efficient or
uh, the card pool is more consistent in the sense that like, um, you only have three choices, so you don't have to look at like a billion choices in like a minute or 30 seconds, and you can kind of figure out your game plan. And then occasionally the game decides to give you some really busted cards. And unfortunately, Patches the Pirate, it, however much I really like Patches the Pirate, is really bad for my deck. Imagine in Magic, you play a one cost spell that when you play it, it retrieves a card from the deck and plays it. I don't know what uh, as like not of a condition.
card?
Hmm?
Like a specific card? Or
No. So like you know how you play elves and goblins and things. Imagine you play any elf or any goblin, and it retrieves this card and puts it on the field,
okay,
right? Without cost.
okay. Pretty. It seems pretty powerful in Magic.
In Hearthstone, it's really powerful because it thins out your deck for free. Uh, this is just Panharmonicon, the card, and then Frostmourne is just a really ridiculous weapon.
So you're drafting Hearthstone.
Yeah, like this is my deck that I'm building right now. Uh, uh, like Rush is basically haste.
You just can attack right away.
Yeah, it attacks right away. This can't be targeted by spells or hero powers is hexproof, and spell damage is what you think it is. You see what I mean? It's watered down magic.
Oh,
Oh, did you ever return the dog back?
yep, she's gone. Feeling better and everything. Oh, yeah, I don't know. My head's just like kind of spinning right now. Ugh.
You drink enough water today?
I don't know. I think it's like Monday blues.
Give a random. Draw a card for each different spell you cast. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's not. That doesn't work with my deck. Let's grab this. Um. Like here's a good example of a bad card. A Scourge Rager is basically a 5/1 for 3 mana. It's a creature that you play it and then it dies and then comes back as a 5/1. Because value.
Okay, not bad. Oh yeah, I know I'm kind of like I'm supposed to have like Niner season tickets and like I'm supposed to, supposed to have access to playoff tickets. Like, it was like the first time in like 10 years they actually made it, and then, but then like apparently I forgot to opt in like a couple months ago, and so like they're not letting me buy any tickets. But like I could get like double up just for buying them and flipping them right away.
That's unfair.
Well, it's just like, well, what's annoying is that like I emailed and called them like all day, and I literally couldn't get anyone to talk to me. And I'm just like, okay, fuck this. Like, I want to sell my license or whatever. I have to like buy a license just to be able to buy season tickets. Like, there's already kind of a money drain, and I'm like, okay, the first time I actually can reach some value back, like I can't even do it. It's just like, well, like I don't need them. Cause like it'll cost me like maybe around like 2,400 a year to buy them, and then in a bad year maybe I'll get back like 1,500 of it or something. But it's like I feel like I'm just like slowly losing money on that. Years. I've had like 2 or 3 years I made some money, but it's not like it's enough where I'm like, oh yeah, like I should have paid like thousands of dollars for this.
Like, they
Like
won't.
he made me buy them every year because like I have the license. So
So they're not even gonna support ticket you to like trying to fix the problem.
I mean, clearly not. I'm kind of like, I'm like, fuck it. It's like,
Well, that's really unfortunate.
and then, I don't know. Yeah, and then normal work stuff and people just being like silly and inefficient. But then like trying to make them clean up the mess. The usual.
The Lich King versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
But
The
you know what a good
past
idea
is dead.
You make the mess, you clean up the mess. Like, then I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, that's typically how like most things should work, right?
Like, some people might work, like, they make a mess and then they'll like act like they're getting mad at me for like not cleaning up their mess. That would be a better idea. Is if you just didn't make a mess in the first place. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
it's just annoying. I'm just like I don't actually care that you made a mess. Just go deal with it. Stop trying to like get me to like fucking clean it off if you're like being lazy as hell, you know?
An incredible discovery.
So, still waiting to see if they come here. Every day that goes by.
I mean, you're.
But then, like, I'm seeing literally, like,
My
there's my
dying breath
coworkers,
is for this
including
city.
some of these people who, like, are making me just try to, like, get promotions off of, like, my hard work.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
Reach for the
I don't know, it's not bad. Right now. We're dealing with stupid shit.
No waves can sink the ship.
Well, I mean, hopefully, like, they'll understand and they'll like try and fix the problem or try to clean up their own messes at work, right?
It's like a situation where, like this VP, right? Like I set up this process that like works perfectly fine. She like selfishly wants to change the process so she can like track this certain piece of data, and I'm like, you realize for you to track this data, you're like overhauling like all the good stuff we've done last year, right? That like I'm not even sure if you have authority to kind of make this change, right? But then like she'll just like constantly throw my department under the bus, just basically like
You want it?
say that our shit's not working well or whatever when it's like, well, no, you're just like inefficient basically. You're trying to do things that like don't exactly make sense, right? Or like that.
I can be there.
Like the way I look at it, right, as like a business-minded person is like the TLDR is what she's complaining about is like she wants to be able to track like potential upsells
Yeah.
more efficiently. right? But in order to do that, she wants to make her team, or she wants me to direct her team on how to do it her way, right? Which like completely like it like potentially will make like our ARR and our reporting like back to like the old days of 2 years ago, where like we're just reporting things inaccurately, and
Which
like
is
she would rather risk that, like just so she can do her job easier, right? And I'm just like, but if I own the business, like right now we actually have like the AR reporting, right? Like for shareholders, all this like at a place that makes sense, right? It's like if I was a business owner, I'd be like, okay, so your problem is like you need to track upsells better. Like, why are we risking like all of our reporting just so you can track upsells better, right? It's more like you should fucking find a different way to track upsells,
yeah.
right? Like that's essentially what I'm like willing to say, right? Or I'm kind of like I need to play this middle ground, and then like, but my supervisor like wants me to like kind of appease her. I'm just like she's literally asking me to do something that like is just gonna involve way too much work, right? And like is like make her team like hate her and me, right? It like doesn't really make sense. Like we like did all this work, we like bought all this software to get away from doing things the way we did like 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
right? But like, she's just like an old person and like kind of wants to do it that way because like she's just worried about her own job, right? And I'm just kind of like, that's great that she feels that way, but like,
It
I
doesn't
just
fix the problem.
yeah, exactly. It's like you're fixing one problem to create a bigger problem, right? It's like there's actually a net negative because like the problem you're fixing isn't as grave of an issue as the problem we already fixed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, and so that's basically what's happening to me. And but then like she kind of doesn't care, right? And then my boss wants me to like kind of work, you know, appease her kind of bullshit, right? And then like we even talked to like a bunch of people on my team today, and like a lot of them agree with exactly what I'm saying because like I've literally been doing research on this for like 2 years, right? Of like, you know, she's just literally like saying basically. And at a certain point, I'm like telling my boss like, yo, like you can't just like give in to what she's saying just because she's saying she wants that, right? Like that doesn't mean what she's saying is right? It's like I don't even know if like we have a collective boss who's like our CRO, right? If like I explain the impacts of like this change, like he might not even agree with what she wants, right?
Right.
But like a lot of them are like kind of in lockstep. She does have some power, but then like, I kind of had some moments where I'm just like, over the last like whatever week or whatever, where I'm like, honestly, if they don't give me this promotion, like I'm probably gonna like try to book it, like actively like try to find a new company. But just, like it's just getting to a point where I'm just like,
You're doing more work than they're paying you for.
no, it's more like the work I'm ending up having to do, which is like cleaning up a bunch of messes, doing a bunch of manual shit. Like, I don't think it's necessarily gonna help me in my next job.
No.
Right? Or it's like not stuff that's necessarily going to help me get paid more if I leave this company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just me like cleaning up a bunch of shit. Right? When it's like, I don't know, I put up with that for a while now, and it's just like, I'm not necessarily, I don't feel like I'm learning anything that's going to actually help me in like these interviews. Right?
Right.
And it's like, yes, I've done this to a certain point, but with the idea that like we're going to make things more automated and I'm going to be working on things more
Efficiently.
impactful. Yeah. Like, you know, with like keeping scaling in mind, but then it's like no, like I'm still just like cleaning up a bunch of shit because of like a bunch of fucking like dumbasses, like, you know, kind of like want me to, you know, they basically want me to do like stupid like things that don't quite make sense. I'm like, why are we paying all this money for the software if we're like gonna do it her way, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just, you know, I've had thoughts like that where I'm just like pretty sure I'm gonna get promoted, but it hasn't happened yet, right? And so the fact that it hasn't happened, it's like I'm still in this, you know, action state of like, okay, I'm ready to like move to the next step if I need to, right?
Right. Well, I mean, like, I feel like... Oh, come on. He generated a card that kills me.
Whoops.
Like the two things I love the most about where I'm working right now is like I do like my boss a lot. She's really cool. And then I like the person who I hired. But if both of them were to leave, it's like I really don't know if I could deal. Like I wouldn't feel like I have enough support around, and then I wouldn't don't know if like I would want to stick around and just keep cleaning messes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's honestly first world problems, but it's like stuff where I'm just like, yep, might be just time to move on. You know,
I mean,
not easy.
you worked your way into getting, the big paper,
will
so
serve
you can have these first world problems.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, it's like me cleaning up messes already got me to this point,
right.
right? Like that's why, like they actually recognized it and like kept moving me up because they were like, oh yeah, see, you're great with like dealing
Problem
with people.
solving.
Yeah, exactly. Like basically, like yeah, exactly. Solving a bunch of stupid problems that like a lot of people don't want to deal with or don't know how to deal with, right? But then I'm just like hitting my like a little bit hitting my limit of like, is this really the way forward? But I don't know. To be honest, I also have like a few other things on my mind. Like I think like Cynthia and I are likely to like take the next step. Right, and so I've also been doing like ring shopping and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I know.
there's just been a lot. So I'm just like, how much of this is just me just feeling overwhelmed? And, right, I just need to like have a drink or whatever.
I feel like you're contemplating because like you had so much progress last year, and you're just like you want that next step up, and you're just like, but you're doing all this work, but you're not getting like the payout. Like for like trying to do all the work that.
Well, what it is more is like I've set a lot of this shit up, and then now I have to clean up a bunch of this shit. And so it's like in the next year, like my progress for how much I'm gonna learn is not gonna be anywhere close to this past year,
Mm.
right? Because like I basically have to be the project manager to actually implement this like new process, and it literally took most of the year to make it happen. And then now it's more about like maintaining the system, which is like a lot of me like fixing a lot of the little bugs and like making sure people are trained on the process and shit like that. Right,
Whereas
which is
other
like
people are trying to revert back to how it was.
yeah, exactly. It's like a lot of change, man. Like I literally have a role where like I have to in some ways try to get like 4 or 5 different departments to all like want to do like one thing, right? And I don't know. There's a lot of competing motivations, right? And yeah, I mean that's kind of my role. And for the most part, I don't really. I feel like I don't really care. I'm more like, yeah, I can put up with it. It's not a big deal for me. But it can also get like really frustrating telling people the same thing like 8 different times.
I can see how that can get tiresome.
I was like kind of shit where it's like, Seymour, I think you said this before. And it's like, oh really, really, no shit, you know,
Did I?
because it still applies. Yeah, right. It's like shit like that.
You don't say.
Yeah, exactly. It's like interesting, right? It's like, oh, you're tired of me saying the same thing? Really? It's like, I'm also tired of me saying the same thing. Exactly. Right?
It'd be
Yeah.
great if we could solve the problem of me repeating myself by doing the actions necessary to stop it.
Well, by just like, stop doing things the way you've been doing it for 20 years and understand that we have technology, right? Like shit like that.
The year of tomorrow.
Well, it's like a lot of stuff too, where it's like, if there's like a 5-step process, I've made it so it's a 3-step process. Right, but then there are people who like they want to still do their 5-step process, but then also complain about how complicated it all is. And I'm just like, I know why it's complicated. It's because you're not doing the 3-step process, right? It's like you're insisting on it, and you're also complaining about having to do it the way you've always done it. I'm just like, no, I don't want you to do it that way, but you insist on it, and then you also want to. It's like shit like that. Like I don't know how to explain it, Nico. And then sometimes you're like dealing with that when like the VP is doing something like that, and you're just like, how are these people like in this position? Like I just don't get it, right? And then at a certain point, like my mind shifts to like, oh, okay, they're just doing this on purpose. Like it's like there's no way they're actually just not aware that they're doing this. It's like they're just doing this on purpose and like just don't give a shit.
I mean,
right?
there exists a non-zero possibility.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a not at this point. There's a non-zero yeah, exactly, possibility that like they actually do know what's happening and they just don't give a shit about what I'm saying, right? And then
Yeah.
they're just gonna like keep saying the same shit themselves too, right, or whatever, and they don't care. So it's like that's actually possible. So
Neither snow nor rain
Yep.
nor witch.
So my mind is just like, I'm like, what am I even dealing with right now? I was like, I guess I'm kind of getting paid, but not like paid so much that. I guess I'm getting paid enough to deal with this shit. But, yeah. Don't pay me more to deal with it. I guess that's okay too. Yeah, I think this is a year where I might need to go on minimum, or at least for like a 6-month period, just go on like my minimum student loan payments. I just put like a lot of money in last year, and now I'm like, I kind of wish I had like 10,000.
I mean, like,
It is what it is.
what would you do with 10 grand if you had it January of this year?
Like,
'Cause-
for example, like buy a ring.
Like,
Right? Buy a ring potentially. If
okay.
me and Cynthia were basically gonna do like a Chinese, like a huge dinner or something at a Chinese restaurant, huge lunch at a Chinese restaurant kind of thing. So it's like, if I did
So-
for 10 grand, I could probably pay for most, probably buy a whole ring plus maybe like most of the ceremony, the dinner party or some shit.
Okay, you're considering about buying a ring.
Yeah, we've been
Um,
like actively ring shopping. So,
How are you doing ring shopping though?
so
Because like you could, there's lots of ways to go about it. I'm just curious of what you're doing. Like, are you going for a certain brand, or for a certain type of rock?
no, we're basically just went to a few stores to go look around. It's like we're like very conscious that we don't know what the hell we're doing. So, and there's actually one lady at Hellsberg Diamonds that pointed that out, and we were like, yeah, you're completely right, because we literally don't know what's happening, right? Because like I don't necessarily want to offend anyone by buying a ring that's too cheap or too expensive, right? And,
That's why I was asking. Is like, because like,
but then also, it's like, but then, she has a certain preference of like how she would want to ring, right? Compared to like maybe what I would choose, right? And some people are, they're more okay with being able to be part of the process rather than being completely surprised. If that makes sense.
because if you're going with the whole surprise thing,
No, we're not.
then that becomes like a question of like, how much money do you want to surprise them with?
Yeah.
Your soul is mine.
Exactly. So it's more of a, I don't know. It's like, I guess I could have gone surprise, right? It's also like, if I bought a ring that was like a bunch of money, and then she said no too.
Okay, so when it comes to buying rings, the
Yeah.
question isn't like when you're going to go look at ring shopping, you don't want to look at the prices. You want to look at the shape of the ring itself. Because let's say you find that ring, you may need to have it resized.
Yeah, her fingers are way too small, so like we're gonna have to get it resized no matter what. Exactly.
I am getting so unlucky. Oh. I had the out to it too, which is the worst bit. The reason why I was saying that is because you can make your own ring by going to like a gem place, like so you can go in like there are loose diamonds and stuff that aren't that pricey,
Yeah.
and then you can also at those they have vendors that also sell ring components too, where it's like it's a band without any of the gems in it. So you can go and buy the rocks and have them installed right there at like conventions. That's why I was wondering like
Yeah, we're more like
Or are you into like a certain type of brand? Because that's a different thing. You know
Yeah, I
what I
think
mean?
what we decided is like the engagement ring can be one thing, but then our bands will be like a Cartier or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
Is like,
I mean her share, like the lower priced one or whatever, or it could be high, right? It could be whatever you want technically, but like
yeah,
a regular band is like usually a lot cheaper than the actual engagement ring. But
I don't know. I you know how I went that phase of just collecting gems and kind of like cutting them. That's sort of how I got into like the ring, looking at the ring market. It's very interesting because it's like buying loose gems and putting them together is surprisingly cheap.
yeah,
Well, it's like cheaper than I like thought it would be, right?
yeah.
Um,
It's a little like buying a car, but like less regulated.
kind of, yeah.
Like cars are like you kind of know what the brands are. Like you could technically buy a wedding ring from like 100 different brands.
Well, cause like the thing with that is like there's lots of different like ways to put it together.
I would argue a car based on what your budget is. Like you're really choosing like something like 5 brands.
Kind of, yeah.
Right. So
Neither snow nor rain nor wind.
But yeah. Um,
I think Costco has a pretty good deal, but they also don't. They also have a lot of stuff that's not actually super cheap. For example.
Their jewelry selection is unique in the sense that like, but it's like, there's also been a lot of like jewelry stores that have gone under in the city.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I was like, you can find kind of a deal, depending on where you want to look.
Yeah.
But like,
But it's also like the part of like, I've asked maybe like 5 or 6 different people, like kind of what they did or what their thought process was and how much they spent, and it's like literally ranging from like 1,000 to like 20,000. You know.
yeah,
So a lot of it also just depends on.
like how much you want to spend.
Yeah, like what your goals are, like if you're cool with having a house or a car or something.
Yeah, cause like the meme that the beer company gets you on is like 3 months salary, and you're like 2 to 3 months salary, and that's kind of a bit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, is that 3 months salary after my mortgage?
No, no. Then you have to ask, is it before taxes too?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like there's a lot of variables in that statement.
Yeah, yeah. But then when I was reading that too, it's like I heard this like a dated premise altogether.
Let me light the way.
It's a really bad premise.
It's a what?
It's a really bad premise if you go on that.
Well, but then like the joke is like, I've been unemployed for a year. So what's 3 months salary of 0?
It's infinity, right?
Yeah. So does that mean like if you marry someone who just like is like an heir to a throne or something, that you just don't have to get him anything?
No, no, no. That's when you have to get them something.
That's when you go with 3 months allowance. You're like, and whatever your parents are giving you, 3 months worth.
Oh. But yeah, I imagine for you, it's not gonna be that like.
Move quickly. Did that just...
I feel like you, if I send you a link to the San Jose, like like gem festival or not festival, but like convention, you'll see exactly what I mean. Like,
I mean, it's been good for us because like we're now at the point where we probably still don't know exactly what we're doing, but like we're not like completely in the dark anymore. That makes sense.
I mean that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Grab your shield. It's a riot.
Ready to fight for a better future?
Any outfit.
Man, I'm getting trashed on so hard. I really want to play that, but I didn't have the value for it.
Tokyo Revengers. Ooh.
Tokyo Revengers is pretty good.
Oh, it is good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. Where that's on Hulu.
Basically, someone goes back in time to like fix like one of their adolescent things. You know, like when you do something stupid, and you're trying to. It's basically kind of going back in time and getting a second chance to not fuck up.
Yep.
That's what Tokyo Revengers is like. Like that's what the introduction of like the first episode is like.
Is there anything you would change if you could go back in time?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's like it starts like in high school, I think, because every anime needs to eventually end up there.
That's when you have your biggest regrets. Even though they're not actually costly.
No, I mean like you like that's the most freest time in Japan, I guess. As an adolescent,
Reporting for duty.
because you
What do
know,
you mean previous time?
you're not like
I mean that's not just Japan. That's in America too.
um. What I mean by that is just like the freest time. Because like you don't really like socialize that much in Japan outside of like high school. Because you know how you go to work and do your work social stuff.
Yeah.
You go to work, then you go to after work, which is just the meme of having to go and like chat up with your boss because you're required to. And dealing with the fact that, um, you you like so you know how your normal work hours are from
Yep.
from like 9 to 5, and then after 5 you waste another like 3 or 4 hours after work socializing with like your coworkers that you spent all day with.
I mean, that definitely is not something that happens all the time in the
No,
U.S.
yeah, no, I'm saying that's the thing in Japan. It's like
Oh,
you don't
you
have to.
you do socialize with your coworkers, or?
Yeah, you do because that's all you really you know.
Well, I think it's a little like that here, right?
I haven't experienced that really. Like here, it's a choice, whereas there, it's like you're going out because if you don't, you look bad.
I've had that experience working in cities
Reporting for duty.
where like you don't have to go, but like you have all these like
It's highly recommended.
yes,
Wink,
yes,
wink.
but I also started like doing shit like that because I'm like, oh, this actually potentially leads to things like promotions, right? And it gives you more exposure to people in power. I don't know. For me, like that's been the only way I've ever moved up in a company or like gotten good. Well, even in my last company, like I would go to like the charity poker event that like my CEO should be throwing. I'd be like, "Wow, Seaver, like you count really fast."
The Lich King
No, no, you just count really slow.
Well, no, like
The
we had charity
Night
poker event
King's
where like the dealers
owns.
were just not great, right? And I was just like, okay, let me just handle this because like I'm pretty sure I could do this a lot faster and it's not a big deal, right? And then I would just like I would literally do the dealer's job like twice as good as they would, and like kind of like stack chips and like figure out how much is in the pot when someone went all in and shit like that. Because like I'm just like this is taking forever. And then like my CEO should be like, wow, Seaver, like you're like pretty good at this, and I'm like, yeah, look, I play a decent amount of poker.
It,
It's
it,
not that hard.
because don't they usually pay for like slots for poker slot or for companies?
Well, yeah. It's like we were like rebuilding together, and like it was like sponsored with Recology or whatever. And so it was like one of those events where like my boss or my CEO, she was trying to like get in with Recology, right?
Reporting for duty.
And then it was like, okay, like we're inviting like half your company to come out, and then I was one of the ones who was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. It's a poker tournament. Um, and then I also, I didn't get to talk to my CEO that often, so it was like, okay, whatever. I can spend it with fucking. It's not like I'm doing anything else every day. So I was like, oh, free food and drinks, even though I don't drink that much. It's like free food though. I can work with that.
What'd you do, big dog? I heard the little fire alarm go off in my house, and I'm just like, and it rushed to me. So I'm just like looking at the dog, going, "What'd you do? What'd you do to make the fire alarm go off?" I don't have 2 corpses yet. I don't. Let's see what this gives me. Dang, that's what I wanted.
Grab your shield. It's a right.
Any big plans for this month?
I will show you fear.
Nothing too crazy. I think for us, like, they're talking about the storm, so like, I'm mostly trying not to just get caught in the middle of one. Like,
I mean, it's been kind of crazy. like I'm like actively concerned that I'm gonna lose internet this week, because like you know how like the the
I mean,
streets
based on
the
how much
street
everyone else,
cables just keep swinging around.
yeah, based on how it's been, it's shaken out. Like it's been great, but you never know. Like until you still have like another week or something.
Your soul is mine.
I mean, like where my sister works, like they had the power outage.
Yeah, I mean, at least on our side, we were pretty lucky. Like, I've seen some weird stuff happening in Pacifica, which is like a 10-minute drive, but it hasn't hit San Bruno yet, so can't complain too much.
A willing donor.
Hopefully, like this big rainstorm ends soon. But I guess for other reasons, like it's really good.
What, the rain?
Yeah, because we've
Yeah.
been like in drought forever.
Well, like, I thought one of the funniest things I heard was that, so, like, you know, my neighbor, who I told you he's been, like, he'll, like, give us a bunch of food, he'll treat us, you know, like, he'll treat us out and shit like that, so, like, we went out, and then we met, like, 5 other people, and then 2 of them were, or, like, 3 of them were from Seattle, and
Yeah,
then, like, they were making fun of us, because they're, like...
this is not a big issue.
They're like, dude, this happens in Seattle like 4 months out of the year, like this kind of storm or whatever. But then it's like here, it's like everyone's like, it's storm watch. Like this is literally what happens all the time. I was like, yeah, that happens.
And I hope I don't just get absolutely just get screwed over in this hand. Because it's like a non-zero possibility right now. Damn.
Are you thinking about playing any of these Magic events in the next couple months?
Not really.
I told you I already signed up for the one at the end of March.
Yeah.
I think I can play Murktide. I think I'm missing Spirebluff Canals and Counterspell.
Well, I feel like you could. Those are replaceable.
Yeah. I have like the Murktides, I have Darcy's, I have Ragdemans. I think I have 2 Steam Vests, actually. I might need another.
And if not, you could probably pick them up while you're there, but like they'll be overpriced.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always, you know me, I'm always trying to always get it earlier.
And the cycle of life.
They had 2? Oh, come on.
Might need some considers. Not so bad.
1 win, 3 losses, with a single legendary getting destroyed by a person that opened essentially like 2 mythics in a draft pool. That hurt. Well, time to play some auto chess. Yeah, I had some just absolutely disgusting matchups.
Are you streaming?
Yeah, I've been streaming the entire time.
Who's
Uh,
watching?
Huh? There's an imaginary one person watching, and I assume it's not you because you asked that question.
Not me.
Uh, it's it's probably one of many bots that are trying to pretend to be human. I mean, it's 8:30 on a Monday.
Seven fresh opponents. Are you ready?
Demons, Mech, Naga, Pirates, Quillbore. Tavern Tipper's a trap. Let's grab this.
Oh shit! Whoops.
Yeah, I moved from playing draft because I just got absolutely steamrolled. And the value of drafting on this is like $2.
Battle, friend.
So I'm just doing some battlegrounds right now.
Welcome back. How's it going out there?
Yeah, I'll probably freeze that.
I can bring in more powerful minions now.
Oh, I bought the new Pokemon Scarlet game, right? And I've been streaming that. I'm almost done, and I've just been like, how am I almost done beating a game in like less than 12 hours?
Dude, people are all about like. There's definitely a certain faction of people out there that are not about grinding.
Well, yeah, but it's just like I'm just so used to the fact that like the older titles made me waste so much time. Not necessarily grinding, but like you're gate blocked because you have to go a certain way. If that makes sense.
Well, you have to go a certain way, and you don't have the strategy though.
Kind of.
Well, yeah, and I would argue the best way to learn is to not just grab the strategy guide and actually try to think about what the way out is, right?
Well, because like what I mean to say is the speed run for just beating from starting the game to beating the Elite Four is an hour and 30 minutes, and most of that is cutscenes.
You could win this whole thing.
Like mandatory cutscenes that you can't skip.
Some of those were cool though. Like I remember Final Fantasy; those were awesome.
No, I was just saying like that's sort of what I mean by like it's surprisingly how short it is. Like considering like previous Pokemon games. Oh, rip. Um,
The battle is really raging out there.
Saying don't worry about a thing.
at the end of your turn, at the end of your turn, give the rightmost minion attack equal to your missing health.
The lava flows, and I flow with it.
Um, The other thing I've been like streaming a bit of has just been Hearthstone. Um, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, and I'm playing like Borderlands 2 from the beginning to pretty much all the DLCs on Friday. And I've achieved a small milestone. I've gotten 1,000 views and 50 hours of people watching my content. On YouTube, anyways.
Yeah.
So, you know. Small grinding. I have 8 subscribers somehow.
You're doing great out there.
Positive growth, you know.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
Escape the darkness with me.
And like, although I'm not like growing on Twitch, at least I'm being like consistent.
Well, sometimes you gotta build your portfolio. Right, you gotta put some like saved content where it's like, oh, this guy's been streaming for like 20 different times. Right, and then sometimes people will go in there, and if it's actually interesting content, then people are more likely to tune in. And if you're someone who has no content, then sometimes people just assume you're like you're fake or something.
I mean, you want to hear the craziest bit? On Twitch, guess how many hours I've streamed on this account?
How many hours?
Yeah.
Like 100?
319.
319. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a decent amount. Yeah.
You're doing great out there.
Like I keep getting advertised ways to cheat the system so I can just have it right now and be a partner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could, but it doesn't solve it doesn't fix the fact that I don't have growth right now. You know?
Yeah.
The lava flows, and I flow with it. The lava flows, and I flow with it. The sea swarms with my soul.
Meditate.
But yeah, when I post stuff like the Hearthstone stuff, like I'm streaming right now, some like, what do you call it? It's surprisingly how much people watch it. What I mean by that is like the average view length of people watching my Hearthstone streams or my YouTube version cuts of this is like
What's that like?
Grab this. Cycle this. I have pretty decent Naga pools right now. What am I need to cycle and level up. But do 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 do.
You're doing great out there.
After you play a minion, give 2 other minions of it. Oh, that's pretty decent. Murlocs are 8 in the game, so I don't have to worry about poison builds. Do 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 do.
You're good at this.
Do 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 do.
You got this. You're way ahead.
Okay.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
Grab this. Get a 5-drop. After a blood gem is played on this, give a friendly minion of each minion type +1. Oh man, these are just bad.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
And this is actually not that bad.
A good tactical choice. Better hire a recruit while you can.
Hmm.
Go ahead and hire one of these recruits.
Nothing I want to freeze. Do 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 do
Let's
do
see
do
if
do
you
do.
can stay on top.
Oh, there goes another guy.
You're good at this.
Hmm.
I didn't like that one either. Here's a gold for the trouble.
There we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do
How
do
do I
do.
attract all these minions? 2 words. Funnel cakes. Let's see if you can stay on top.
I'm bugged.
Okay. I'm just currently watching my endgame board clear my auto chest for me.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
Do 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 do.
Now we are in business.
You grab yourself something to eat.
Yeah, I made some, what's it called? Like, Costco had their lobster ravioli on sale like a month ago.
I just went to Costco the other day.
I finally made it.
I mainly go there to get like salami for salami sandwiches.
You have a membership, or like your mom does?
I have a membership.
Yeah. Oh, but you don't go that often.
Not really. Well, I mean, like, I would go like once a month to the normal one, and then once a month, or once a month or once every other month to the business Costco.
You like it? What do they have there that is different?
You at the normal Costco, you can't. Uh, let's say you want to buy ground beef, right?
Yep.
They have it at the normal Costco, but they don't have it
One's gunning for you.
in the
Watch out.
quantities and the price points. If that makes sense,
Someone said that about their beef.
huh?
Someone said that about their beef.
I mean, like you get at the normal Costco, you can't buy it like a full, like cow or a lamb.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
But you can at business Costco.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
quite the army you're building.
if you choose to like get one, you know.
Yeah.
He'll stay. Slow down.
Um, like I will tip like my best buy at business Costco was buying like 30 pounds of chicken for or like chicken breast for like 12 or $15.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Compare that to like the price of like chicken breast when you go to like anywhere else, and it's like here's a good example. Like if you go to Trader Joe's, it's like at that time it was like $4 or $5 per pound of chicken breast. So I was just
Yeah.
like, worst case scenario, if I only use like 5 pounds of this, you
Yeah.
know, I broke even.
Everyone's gunning for you. Watch out.
That's why I like business Costco.
I gotta check it out.
It's got like lots of like it has its own separate inventory from the normal Costco. Where you just like it has like
Nice work out
like I've been to a few different ones, and like some will have like full vending machines and stuff. Um,
there. Better hire a recruit while you can.
let's see. Um, probably dump this one.
Onwards, my nautical steed.
Here's another thing that the business Costco has that normal Costco doesn't always have. You know when you if you want Mexican Coke, if you go to the normal Costco, they don't always have it in stock.
Mm-hmm.
The business one always has it in stock.
Let's see if
Okay,
you can
okay.
stay on top.
Okay, I gotta go. This month. I gotta go. We can ignore this one.
Okay. Let's see.
You're good at this.
This is really good.
A gift for Ashara.
And then
I didn't like that one either. Here's a gold for the trouble.
The sea swarms with my soul.
A good tactical choice.
um ha- have you ever been to Top Pot in Pacifica?
Top pot. No, we didn't go there. Is that the place with the karaoke?
On top.
It's basically like Korean barbecue in Pacifica that also has like hot pot if you want to just make soup instead. Oh, hmm. Millhouse Manastorm's kind of fun. Let's grab him.
Hey, my favorite commander is back. Ready to get started?
Okay. Buy this. Play it. Sell. This. And then that.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
The other one sound positions?
Hmm? Man, I'm playing pretty aggressive. It should be a 5/6, a 2/2, and a 1/1.
Have a good battle, friend. Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
Okay.
That one might make all the difference.
I guess I'm going towards Quillbore. Do 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 do.
9 o'clock. Oh god.
How goes the work going?
Good battle, friend.
Just getting annoying inquiries. You know, the usual work stuff. Like, Seaver, I think these are wrong, and I'm like, I'm not the one who enters that data, and I'm also not the one who reviews and approves it. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
I set up the system, and then like they're almost like implying like the system is just like blurting out random numbers. And I'm just like,
I mean, it could be, but that's not
And
your
then
job.
well, they know I can fix it or whatever, and it's like I can, but if I just keep cleaning up after other people, then they don't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting to this point now where I'm like, look, people make mistakes. I get it, but you just clean up your mistakes and no one will care, right? Don't just like sloppily do things and then just expect me to clean up the mess. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of like what it's been like, and it's like it'd be really great if you guys just did not do things that way.
Have you ever played Auto Trust Battlers? Do, do, do.
I'm just gonna deal with this tomorrow. Like that.
That sounds good.
That's like my
Keep up
first
the
thing.
momentum, friend.
First thing I'm doing tomorrow morning is sending this email of you should work with your own department to resolve these, since they review and approve.
The battle is really raging out there. It's not the strongest, but it'll fight hard.
The odds are in my favor.
You're down a minion and up a goal.
Do, 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 do. If you're into playing any like multiplayer games, I don't mind dipping out of this. Do-do-do-do.
Have a good battle, friend.
Dang, game's wrecked.
The battle is really raging out there.
I'll do what I can.
Is there any games that you're into playing, Seaver? Because I know you're not into shooters.
I mean, for me, I think it's like mostly playing poker. I do like playing Magic. I think Magic is really fun. They just, there's only so many events. And
Have a
I
good
think
battle, friend.
games like playing basketball are fun. Or like if we were playing ping pong or yeah, I don't say I love pool, but other people want to play pool, I'm open to it. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, I was just saying for so we can play and hang out sometimes. Is there any...
Good.
Oh, like any games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say for me it's mostly poker. And then,
It's good
I
to
mean,
get some
I think in my
names
younger
play.
days I would have been open to a game like Hearthstone. What would we? I don't know. That's what I was thinking about too. Cause like my friend, for
Like that
example,
one
who,
either. Here's a goal for the
used
trouble.
to play video games with all the time. Video games just don't they don't hit me the same anymore. But I realized really don't hit me the same anymore because so he was saying how like his girlfriend got him a PS5, right? I'm like, okay, that's cool. Something I definitely would have thought was amazing when we were in high school or even like 10 years ago. Then it struck my mind that my sister's fiance also has a PS5. It's just I've never had one at any point, right? Like had
One
an
and one?
inkling. Yeah, or just been like, oh, like I should go play over at Ian's house, my sister's, or whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
But like it used to be like, oh wow, you have a PS5, like yeah, like let me come hang out for a couple hours, a few hours, half a day. That's the only reason.
Have a good battle, friend.
I don't know. I was just curious to see if like, cause like, you don't even play arena, right? You
I
play
don't.
just Moto.
Yeah, if I play on Mono,
You're good at this.
yeah. I mean, I kind of tried to fuck around, play a little Valorant.
I can bring in more powerful minions
I
now.
don't know. There's just like after a while playing video games just felt I kind of I do like games like sports games, or I like the idea of a Valorant where you're playing with like your friends and shit like that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of video games that are like it's like kind of a solo experience. And it
There
just
are
doesn't-
some that are like that.
To be honest, I feel like Magic is a little like that too.
I mean, for the
Magic feels
most
like
part, it is.
It feels like a solo experience sometimes. I was like, do I really want to keep playing Magic? Ugh. Kind of. Like, I thought it was really cool pre-COVID when they had a GP in a different city, like, every week.
Yeah.
And then the times when they would, like, stream the GPs, too. Like, I thought that was really sick. But then, they don't even do that shit anymore.
I mean, like, what's worse is that people that were just streaming to Twitch
Yeah.
had better setups than the actual, like, team that was there.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
like,
I don't know. It's like, Magic is, like, they're just so, like... They just do way too many things where I'm just like, why are you just not trying to make the game, like, fun and entertaining? You know what I mean? Like, there's just too many things they do.
I
It's
think
just
you
like,
can
it's just
win
stupid.
this thing.
I mean, they release sets now every month.
Like, playing Magic sometimes feels like you're in that relationship that you're trying to find. And it's just like, why am I trying to fight this? I don't really know. I feel like they ban a bunch of shit. Like, they don't want to stream for whatever fucking reason. A lot of players are a bunch of white girls. Yeah, it's just like, it's fun. Like, those are the games I can play that are just as fun, more profitable, and more,
Welcome back. How's it going out
you're like
there?
more like mind stimulating, like poker basically. It's like there's a lot more like psychological warfare type of stuff that I like, which I don't feel that way with Magic all the time.
The scourge will consume you.
I like where you're going with this.
Big appetites.
A good tactical choice. Practice makes perfect.
Vegas, I thought Vegas was fun though. The beta draft, I thought that was sick. It would just be cool if they had like something like that every like month or every couple weeks or something.
Have
You know?
a good
Like,
battle, friend.
what I feel like Wizards of the Coast is just mainly like following just DreamHack right now. Because like their last big event was at DreamHack.
Okay. Yeah, like even like what they're doing that 20K modern RCP that I posted before, like
Yeah.
that's what that's really like beginning of April. Like we're talking 3 months from now, and it's like it's not even a GP. It's just like an event that I'm like, yeah, I could see myself like playing
Attending.
Magic a day or two. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah. I guess like Versus is having what like a 1K modern RCQ or something like that.
Yeah.
But that it just doesn't seem like there's enough juice.
like the stakes aren't really high enough in my view, and I have to get like pay a bunch of money for a day. I have to block out like the whole day too for that. It doesn't seem like
The value isn't it in for you?
yeah, super appealing. And then forget about it if it's like, yeah, this is in Santa Clara or in San Jose. It's like, well, I mean, now it's really not worth it.
Now you really have to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all. Like, I just kind of wish they
Have you ever
had
met
more
the League
competitive
of
events.
Explorers? Nice
A lot of
folks.
whiny
Great
people.
hats.
So, like, oh, that's fine. I'll just go play something else. Not a big deal. Like, I'll be more of a magic collector type of person.
I
I'll
mean,
play every-
have you looked at Dominaria Remastered?
And then it's like the people who are regularly playing are like, it's like someone like Curtis or something, which I'm just like, I mean, it's like, do I really want to be spending all the time with like Curtis?
Have a good battle, friend.
Like, it's cool. Like, there's a lot of other things again. Like, honestly, like, who do you know right now that's like somewhat regularly playing?
Honestly, I
Like,
regularly play, but like out of like, I don't see really that much going on, you know.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, who around you is really playing that much? Like, our Discord group is like, I mean, it's been like this for a while, in my opinion, right? Like at this point, the most interesting people to talk about Magic with are, I mean, I like talking to you in general, right? But then you also like don't play that much Magic.
Well,
But I
yeah,
do like talking to you, right? But then from just a pure Magic perspective, like who are the people I actually find value talking to? It's like someone like what's his name? Like Ben. I enjoy playing Magic with Ben.
and Ben isn't even that into Magic anymore, really, considering
Well,
he spends most of his time playing WoW and
now
other.
it's but like you notice he goes like in and out of like playing Magic. Like he would like stream like the video Magic and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then what's it called? Like Ting Fang. I like talking to Ting Fang about Magic.
I mean,
I've gone to Max's dad's house like at least like a half dozen times now. So like in a way, Max is someone who even though I've seen his dad literally more than I've seen Max, but like, but Max obviously, and then maybe like Devin, we'll talk about Legacy. Like that's it. Everyone else is just like not actually interested in talking about Magic.
because it's kind of dead, to be honest. Like, like the fact that I consistently go to the card store. You know, I go to Versus and I go to other card stores.
Yeah.
When Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic are taking over Versus,
Yeah.
it clearly means it's kind of dying. Considering how before COVID they weren't even considering the idea really. You know what I mean?
Magic's more in a lull than actually dying. Like,
Well, in the sense that like,
it literally just needs a boost. It's just like there's just so many whiny people, right? Like, and what I consider a boost is something like the beta draft. Like, the beta draft was like every kind of Magic experience I could have hoped for.
yeah.
So, right, but then they just need to kind of keep that kind of momentum going. But then, like, you'll get, measures like someone like Curtis who's like talking shit about like the beta draft, and you're like, and then just like trying to pump up like Pioneer and Standard to go to the Pro or something. It's like annoying, basically. Like, and it's just not accurate. So.
I'm gonna draft like real quick of Magic, and you can see what I mean by like the sets don't.
I really do think Magic is like it's. They just need to up their game a little bit, or someone needs to do like what CFB did and like just take one for the team, and then we're back.
But at the same time, you know, I have enough going on in my life now that it's like, yeah,
You have other
Magic,
things going on.
yeah, like Magic is dying. It's like, okay, all right, Nico. I think I'm gonna have to go right now.
All right, have a good one.
But we will definitely chat soon. Okay.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace. It's always a little bit off, isn't it? And there we go. Yeah, let's do a traditional draft. Ready up. Um, Hercule is pretty bad because, let's be honest, I'm never gonna cast it. The Gnawing Vermin's okay. Thran Vigil's pretty good. Let's keep myself a little bit more open. Let's take the rat. Um, Stasis Net is really strong. I would have grabbed Disenchant, but this is basically... This is for the off chance I'm not going up against creatures. Or I'm not going against artifacts. The top 7 cards of your library, put X artifacts or creatures with mana value 3 or less. Kaya's Reconstruction seems okay, but not great. Or Kayla's. The Spike is pretty decent because it's Death Touch. And then the Carrion Locust, it would be my second grab. Okay. Moment of Defiance is a lifelink and a draw card. which is pretty strong. I don't think if I'm playing this, then my high end would be to get Warlords of Elite. That's an enchantment, not an artifact. There's not that many good 3-drop artifacts.
What's wrong?
This isn't if I want to slide into green, because I might bail on white. Not exactly certain. Hulking Metamorph, don't have targets. Gnarling Vermin, I do have targets. Yeah, let's grab another one. Haywire Might is really strong. Equals the number of cards in your hand. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. This is decent enough. So I have some early game. Here's my starting pack. Let's grab Energy Refractor because there isn't that much color fixing. Ashnod's Intervention's pretty strong because I can turn 1 put this on a Gnarling Vermin, and then it can fight something that's bigger than it and get rid of like a 4-drop. Things that aren't in my color. It's not exactly what I'd want to get into. Hey, guys, stop it. I mean, Ooh. That's pretty decent. I might go into red. Cut the black cards out, go into red. Because Tyrant of KR Ridges is strong enough to kind of end games. Red white, ooh. Discard all cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. You may choose an artifact or a creature with mana value 1. With value 1, you discard this way. Then do the same for artifacts or creatures with mana value 2. Return those cards to the battlefield. Activate this only as a sorcery. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I might go red-white. So discard all cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. You may choose an artifact or creature with mana value 1. You discard it this way, then do the same for artifacts or creatures with mana values 2 and 3. Okay, so I think we are cutting. All of this out. We're putting the Tyrant in as our top end. We're putting this as our second to top end. And then this is our big win condition. Do I want a paratrooper versus... paratrooper's pretty good. Okay. Hero of the Dunes. I'd rather grab that over your ins. Okay, so let's... I'll put this in this pile for right now until I know if I really want to consider going back into black. Whenever one or more artifacts creatures leaves the battlefield during your turn, I'm not really building soldiers. And Thran Vigil is okay. This is flying. This is if I'm really considering going back into black. Because I do have a lot of, like, fun things to go into if I choose to go that direction. I'm not going to grab Corruption because I won't be playing that many swamps. I'll probably grab this though. Because the Skull Flare is kind of strong enough. It gets bigger every time after there's more than 3 creatures in the grave. This is strong enough. Okay. Um... "15 creatures, 6 non-creature spells. Pretty good. Veteran Blade. I'll probably cut that. I don't really have anything in particular I want to get. I have Diabolic Intent. Prison Sentence is probably more useful for me. Lay Down Arms is pretty good too. Yeah, let's... Unleash Shell is a good removal spell. This is kind of just like free recursion. This is niche. We can cut this. We can probably cut Gixian Flare. I'm pretty sure it's that one. Exile the top 3 cards. Your library pile face down. Look at them. I'm pretty sure that's really bad. Emergency Weld is actually pretty useful. None of these are really that great for me. I mean, let's just kind of push this extremely to niche black cards. Where I might use them, but none of these I'm actually going to use. This I might consider. This I'm just messing around. But yeah, the deck looks pretty strong. Okay, let's look over the deck a little bit more now that we finished drafting. Emergency Weld and an energy refractor. I think this is good enough. Play first. Mulligan. Keep. Probably lay down arms. I guess their hand isn't that strong. Mine isn't much stronger either. But I just have a pretty aggressive end turn. Resolve. ass. I'm short a single white source, and I'm short a black source. Okay. It's fine. Good for it. Ooh. A Mishra. I like to play first. Keep. Well, that's good. Um... It only becomes a 4 or greater once there are more mountains. Block. Because I know you don't have shock. Because the set doesn't come with shock. Okay. 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 Good for him. He removed it. I got him a little bit on the back foot. There we go. This looks keepable. Turn 1 play with removal. Late game removal, but it's removal. Half of my swamp sources in my hand. It's not a good... Three-fourths of my swamp sources are in my hand. No bots. Okay. Hey, what do you got? got there. Hey, what's wrong? That one's bugging me. Oh, this is a mulligan. That's a keep. Nice. Good for him. Drawing a card. Alright. Getting probably gonna combat courier next turn. Nice. Trades. He doesn't have haste, so it's not that scary. If he makes a 6/6 right now. Oof. Nice. He can do 6 damage. I can do 7. And depending on what I draw, I might be able to extend this. But no matter what, 3 damage is going through. concede. This is perfect. Playable. It has a 2-drop at least. bottom for 4 mana. Yeah, I need to keep drawing mana right now. What could be in his hand? That's so bricky, unless he's drawn only lands. Pretty good one. Nice. Technically have a removal spell for next turn. Yeah, I need to desperately just draw lands. Take another 6. Does he actually have removal? Try this. One, two, three, four. He's getting so much card draw. I'm just faffing about. How many cards do they have left in their deck? They've drawn like, I think 4 more cards than me. Two wins and 1 defeat so far. Not that bad. Let's be on the play. This is bad. Better and worse at the same exact time. Come on, any land. Counterspell? I have yet to see the Tyrant yet. Not sure if that's bad. I'm just surprised. Who is on the play first? Let's try this hand. He shouldn't have a counterspell for that. Ooh, he does. Another counterspell? Nice, good value for him. Hopefully I don't draw a swamp. The only thing I want for the deck is a white source. To bounce it back in the hand. No blocks. There's a way for me to remove this silly spider, but I don't have it. That's one of them. My tyrant's at the bottom of my deck. Oof.
Get down.
He has 2 attackers. One of them I will block. Take 2 damage. Concede. Okay, well that'll end my stream.